Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. We are having a nice, easy tutorial today of quick 5-minute project ideas because sometimes that's all we can do and we just need to chill out. I am sharing 6 projects that you can make in about 5 minutes or thereabouts, and of course I'm going to give you the easy and the advanced option, meaning that you can keep it simple, or if you have a bit more time, you can most definitely expand upon these ideas and really take it to town. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting with easy peasy project number 1, this is a bookmark or a belly band that opens all the way up. So if you just leave it as it is like this, it's a bookmark. And that's pretty cool because you can write all of your, book pages and book notes on your little bookmark. Pretty cool. Or if you want to have it in your journal as a belly band, let me show you it in action. It's a belly band, which means that you can tuck something inside, and I'm sure you already know this. I'm sure you know what a belly band is. And then, of course, it opens up, and look at this full page here for journaling, and also here at the back of it. And then very, very cool little element right there. Very easy and simple to make. Let me show you how, because that's what I'm here to do. Okay, first thing you need is a piece of paper. I'm using standard A4 size. You can use whatever. You can use 12 by 12, whatever you want. All right, you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it the other way towards the middle. You know what I mean. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. Go all the way to the edge on that side. Turn it around and do the same on the other side. I was not joking when I said quick 5-minute project ideas, because literally this is all you have to do. Okay, this is what you have, and now you can go ahead and put a piece of pretty paper right on top here and on the other side. So the only thing is this is going to happen, it's going to sit up, so make sure that you burnish all of your folds down real well, and also don't stress too much, because over time, especially if this is inside a book, which it will be, whether it's a book band or a bookmark, it's going to flatten down anyway. Perfect. I'm going to use this pretty paper and just trim how much I need. So I like to leave some borders. As you can see, pretty cool having a little border so you don't have to go all the way to the edges. And now mark this one and trim and trim. All right, perfect, looking good. And also you can choose here, I mean, this is minor detail, but you can see how this one opens like this and then like this. So you can decide if you want it opening from here. I know this probably doesn't even make sense when I'm talking about it. Or from here. See how this one opens from here and this one opens from here. And then when I turn it the other way, it flips, which doesn't matter with your bookmark, but if you're making a belly band, you might want to decide how you want this to open. Do you want it to open this way? Or do you want it to open this way? Because the other side will be glued down. Okay, does that make sense? Or is it too early or too late in the day for this kind of confusing gibberish? All right, what I'm gonna do now is ink the edges. So I'm thinking if you want this to be your belly band, because you're going to be tucking things underneath from this way, it might be better to have your little thing opening this way or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Let's glue it down. Excellent. Now, if you're planning to use it as a belly band, you're done, because all now you have to do is grab your journal. I'm just grabbing anything on my desk and pop a bit of glue there and a bit of glue there and glue it down, and that's it. You'll have this element that opens up as I've demonstrated before. Perfect. And then underneath here is the belly band section. All right, so you don't have to do anything on the back because it's glued down. If you want it to be a bookmark, of course, you're going to turn it the other way and cover, pretty much just do exactly the same thing as we've just done. Cut and then ink and glue. Ink some more and you're done. So here it is. How easy peasy. Okay, and then you can go ahead and embellish and add little corners and whatnots. And there it is, a little bookmark. I love it. So easy, simple, and quick. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready to move on to idea number 2? Yes, we are. Idea number 2 is, for lack of better name for it, let's call it journaling spots. Okay. To make this will take 5 minutes. To take it further will take a little bit longer. All right, so what is it? You're starting off with one sheet of paper. Oh, I have one here that I'm going to demonstrate with. And this is, you can see, I've tea-dyed it and I used a plastic doily over the top during the drying process, and that's how I got these beautiful prints, okay? But you don't have to have this. You can use anything. You can use literally anything. Scrapbook paper, okay? All right, and then you create this sheet, which is what we're going to do now. All right, and then you can go ahead and cut it down and drop it all over the place. You can have little individual beautiful things that you can add to journals like this. You can have, what else did I make? What else? Like you can leave, they don't have to be individual. They can be like this, little journal covers perhaps. They can be little flip down, opening, uppy things like this. And like this. So I'm giving you the basis here, okay? You start, look how cool this looks. Look at this one. This is the basis, right? And then you can take it to town. And here's another little, oh, I love this idea. So I was thinking maybe adding photographs, and I made a little flip book. So, you know, just little pages. I added these vintage photographs that I have because I'm not gonna, like, I don't really have many. Everything's on phones nowadays, but you might want to do like a little flip book of your grandchildren, like a brag book, or of your kids, and you know, just do a little something like a little flip book, okay? This is just one idea that you can use or make. I love this. I think this idea on its own deserves a separate video, like a little flip book and all the fun stuff that we can do. All right, but let's keep it real nice and simple. We're starting off with one piece of paper. Like I said, any size, any size? Yeah, any size. Any pattern or no pattern, totally up to you. Any weight too, you might want to use. Cardstock, this is just standard A4 printer paper. All right. Next thing you're going to do is divide it into 3s or 4s, so it depends on how long, how big you want your pieces of sections to be. I'm going to divide this paper into 9. You can see here. Let me show you. All right, I'm dividing it into 3 sections this way and 3 sections this way. Now, if you're not very good at math and working out these things, I'm going to show you. very, very easy and very simple, all right? So measure your piece of paper. I'm going to use metric system for this. I'm using centimeters. You can use inches. Just take your number. Mine is 29.5 centimeters and divide it by 3. 29.5 divided by 3. I get 9.8. So I'm going to go over here and I can find 9.8. Give myself a little mark. Then I'm going to move my ruler because I don't want to have to calculate how much is 9.8 plus 9. No. We don't want to do any thinking in this household. Oh, no, well, I don't. I don't know about the rest of the house. We need another 9.8. Perfect. And now I'm going to do the same thing up on the top here, just so I can join the two lines. 9.8. Move. 9.8. All right, great. And now I can join the two lines, little notches. To join the two little notches that I made. It doesn't have to be absolute precision, right? You can see. Can you see? I don't know. I can see. There's a helicopter hovering above my house. I have no idea why. They must think I'm growing a weed or something. But I'm not. I'm crafting. Now we're going to take the other section, this one here. We're going to divide that into 3. But first we need to know the number. 21. 21 divided by 3, or even I know this. It's 7. So I'm going to mark it 7. And then I'm going to mark it another 7, which is 14. I'm going to turn it around. How simple. And so you can even do this by folding. You can just start folding away. You don't have to do any markings. But I don't want any folds in my paper at this stage. Now we are going to join I can't speak. Join the little notches. Join away, my friends. Here we go. We have 9 sections, or however many you want. You might want to go in and do another one. You know, you do you. You do you. Okay, so now I have my lines, and I can take this to my sewing machine, and I'm looking at each section as an individual piece, as you can see here. You may not have a sewing machine, in which case, if what I would do personally is perhaps doodle. I mean, you can do something like this all around. You can do emulate sewing, like see this one here, wiggly lines, and this one here, wiggly lines. You can do it just by, you know, you're just using a marker. You don't have to sew. Might be easier to do it this way, just wiggly lines all around. Or you can do something like this. I don't know, I'm just pulling this out of thin air now. I'm not very good at these doodly things, but you get the idea, right? You can do something like this, and then a little flower, and then another little, you know, you get the drill, okay? But I like the sewing machine option. So now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and sew around each section, and I might bring you along on the ride, speed it all up. But what I'm going to do is change the setting each time. So people often ask me, what is that stitch that you're using? I have no idea. Usually I use this stitch here a lot. It's like a heart beep thing. Now my machine doesn't tell me the names of these stitches, so I can't tell you I'm using D72. I don't know, every machine is different. So this is my little thing here, and my machine is Elna. Very simple little Elna, the cheapest machine I could find. And it's still like 10 years later. This is my baby. And then I can just go changing the stitches here. No, that's, what is that? Length. Changing the stitches here. Say I want to do D. I'm going to change it to D. And then I'm going to stitch. And then I'm going to go to E. And then I'm going to stitch. And I'm going to, you know what I mean? So each section I change stitches, and I follow my little thing here. And it tells me what I got to do. So if I want to do this kind of a stitch, which is this one, this is awfully boring, isn't it? This one here. Half of these things I don't understand. It was all trial and error. I know I have to go to this red thing, which I have no idea what that means, but I know that it's gonna give me this stitch. So I don't know. All I know about sewing is that I have just done it. I just do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just go ahead and do it. Okay, I'm gonna start stitching away. And also all I'm doing is, let's zoom in, aligning my paper with I know this is awfully zoomed in, can't really see well, but if you can see this little notch here, I'm aligning my paper. I'm just looking at the edge of my paper and the notch here, and that way I can keep it nice and straight. And also when I do those lines, they help me with the aligning things. So the notch and my lines, that's what I'm aligning, so I can have nice straight stitches. One done. Moving on to the next one, I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep changing the stitch, the stitch thing, and I'll be back when I'm done, I guess. I want to show you how I do the wiggly lines. It's basically a straight stitch, but I move my paper around. Just like so. That's pretty cool. And then if you want to do another sewing wiggly line over the top, then you go ahead and you just go the other kind of way. And that's what that looks like up close and personal. All right, 2 more to go. And here we are, the finished piece done and dusted. I'm going to remove all of the threads now. I made plenty of mistakes on this piece because I wasn't really concentrating as much as I have on the other ones. And perhaps I was feeling a bit rushed because of the whole 5 minutes thing. I mean, some of these projects are gonna take more than 5 minutes. Let me just tell you that now, because if you choose to doodle instead of sew, I mean, that's gonna take time. Really depends on how much detail you want to go into. But anyway, the mistakes are very easy to fix if they need to be fixed at all. And you can see them, like I have this kind of thing happening, you know. I have skipped stitches, fine by me. I have things like this happening, you know. Oh, I went kind of in and then I'm like, oh, you know, I need to correct course. None of it matters. It doesn't have to be perfect. And in the end, it's going to look good, because this, I had the same thing happen on this one here, and I just went ahead and covered it with this little piece of something. All right, completely, you can't even see it anymore because, and it was completely chewed. It was chewed, and now it's gone, hidden. So that can always be fixed. Next thing we're going to do is cut them into their own individual pieces, or threes. I like the look of this as well, in which case I would rub out the pencil marks. Here's another little boo-boo, a bit of chewed uppage going on there. Totally fine. Oh, and over here, look at that. Oh, well, you know. Oh, look at that. I didn't have any of these things happen in the other projects, but I am distracted because I'll tell you why. I had to I don't want to say it sounds bad. I had to close the door on Banjo, and he's currently in my bedroom, on my bed, mind you, you know, like a little king that he is, because he saw a cat and he's gone absolutely mad, running around the house and barking. And by the way, Banjo is a very reactive dog. He's a rescue dog, so there's no way I can film. And then we also have this helicopter hovering above my house, so I constantly have to stop. The helicopter is literally above my house. I mean, guys, I'm not that important, you know. It's just, you know. Anyway, so not my best work right over here, but you know. So what I just demonstrated is inking the edges, because if you don't ink the edges, you can see those pencil marks. You see that? If you want to go ahead and rub them all out, you can. But I like the inked edges. And, you know, even though we have some little mistakes and chewed up paper like this one here. Oh, look how pretty this is. Gorgeous. I think this looks absolutely beautiful, and you can use this in millions of ways. I was thinking just now when I was cutting them out, you could do like a little swatch book, just like this, a little flip book. You can do a swatch book of watercolors, I don't know, stamps. You can use your stamps. Look how pretty this is gonna look. Just watch. All right, here's a little stamp. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh, it's a big mystery. I'm gonna stamp. Oh, pretty, isn't it? So you can have like a little spot. If you don't have a million stamps, it would never work for me because I have a lot of stamps now. You tend to amass things as you go. And you know, things like this, skip stitches don't really bother me that much, especially if we're doing something vintagey like this. I think it adds to the character. But this kind of does bother me a little bit. So, you know, things like this, it's gonna fix it, or whatever. You know, I have my little box of things over here, and then I can just go ahead and do a little tab like this. And on the other side, you know all this. I would love to do a separate video on a flip book, not this like this particular thing, because you've already seen it, but I'd love to do, I just don't know if it's worth it because it's such a simple thing. Like you get your papers and you poke some holes and then you put some, and then you put a ring and there you have your little flip book. So I don't know, what do you think? Is it worth it? Should I do a tutorial on a flip book? My heart wants to. I don't know if my audience wants it. That's the thing. Should I just follow my heart? Look how cool this looks. Love, love, love. Okay, that was idea number 2. We shall get cracking now. Look at this little baby. I'm quite satisfied with my little selection over here. Okay. Oh, and look at this. I have one full sheet that I can still, do stuff with. They can be pretty cool book plates too for journals. Let's move on. Idea number 3 is paperclip bookmarks. Okay, this is going to take less than 5 minutes. Let me show you this in action. Here's my shabby chic journal. I'm going to show it to you when it's full of goodness. It's a work in progress. And let's say I want to attach my paperclip bookmark. It's a bookmark. And I want to have it on this page because that's where I'm up to with my writing. And then down here, is your little bookmark. And then you can just go like this. Oh, up to this page. Okay, I don't know. Is this silly? Is this silly that we're about to demonstrate this? Well, I'm about to demonstrate this. All you need, obviously, is a paperclip ready. Then we need some twine or ribbon or whatever you want to use, and you want to attach it to your paperclip. So look at your paperclip. How's it going to go on the page? It's going to go like this on the page, and that means you have to attach your little thing down here and not up here. All right, so we're attaching down the bottom. Grab your twine, and you might want to check your journal because you might have a little journal you're working on. So just approximately go to a page, let's say just wherever, pop it down and approximately see how much length you need down here. So it's folded in half, obviously, and I always like to give myself extra length just in case. And then you pop it through. You can go underneath or above, totally up to you, just like you would when doing the tag topper thing. Okay, and attach like so. Oh, doesn't get any simpler than this. All right, perfect. You might want to grab your journal or something, and clip your paperclip on. This is a good page. I'm going to clip it on. Lovely. So it's, I have a bit of resistance there. I'm going to use a bit of something to hold my pages down, and I want my beads to start, let's say, over here. So I'm going to tie myself a knot because I don't want the beads kind of riding up. And do the same on the other piece. You might want to have one that's higher than the other. You can use your imagination here. And now, of course, you're going to select some beads. I'm going to bring these on screen and just so to give you some little inspiration, and then you can start, beading. I put a tiny little bit of glue here on the edge, on the very end, just to help me with the beading process, just so the string is not unraveling and being annoying. And off I go. Here we go, beads are on, and now I need a little tool. I'm going to tie a little knot. Sorry, everything's very close. Sorry about that. Tie a little knot, and I'm going to use something, you can use a needle and pop it through and bring it all the way up so that it's nice and tight. And done. Repeat on the other string. I am repeating the exact same thing, but you can do 2 different ones. Why not? They don't have to be the same. You can go with the theme or with the color scheme of your journal. That's why I did this one here for my shabby chic journal. You can see those pinks. Quite fun. And honestly, the thing that takes the most time is choosing what beads you're gonna make. I mean, the project itself takes less than 5 minutes, but it's the choosing of the beads that can go into oblivion. All right, that's on. Make a little knot and bring it all the way up and tighten and cut and cut. And here we go, that's done. You can take this a step further. You can embellish the top of the paperclip as well, do a little ribbon up the top, and you have this. You can't really see it from this position or perspective, but you know, quite cute and very simple. Well, nothing groundbreaking, but it's pretty cool to have a little, look at this, little booklet of paperclip bookmarks. Pretty cool. Okay, now this one can join its friends over here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're ready to move on. Idea number 4 is mini love letters, for lack of a better name. I really didn't know what I'm gonna call them, so I'm calling them mini love letters. And this is such a cool little addition to a journal. Look how beautiful they look. And this was actually sent to me in Happy Mail, so that's what gave me the idea. And basically, this is all it is. Okay, this one is half of the standard A4 size paper. I'm going to demonstrate with the full A4 size paper, which are these here. And they have a little closure. And let me show you this one. The closure removes and the page opens. This is also one of those projects that's going to take less than 5 minutes. Imagine how many you can do in an hour. So cool. All right, let's grab a piece of paper. Here it is, a piece of paper. This is avocado dyed. Again, you can use anything that you have in your stash, and you can fold it any way you want. This is the way I've been folding mine. So the paper is kind of sitting up vertically. That's just how I like it. And now we're going to meet these two in the middle, but I don't meet them all the way. I leave a little bit of space and fold down. I'm going to show you up close in a moment. You can see this, a little bit of space left. I kind of left a bit more space up here than I did down here. It doesn't matter. And now we want to fold this way, so that's done. And now we're going to fold this way, but I like to have the fold somewhere in the middle, but you could perhaps like go all the way to the edge so that it's fully closed like this. Totally up to you how you want to do this. We are overlapping, and I like to have the overlap happening somewhere there, somewhere there. In the approximate middle, overlap, fold, and perhaps burnish down, and the other side. Now we just need to make the closure, all right? And I'm using just a piece of paper like this. And look at this, Let me just show you something. I have a really, really blunt paper cutter. I've been using this paper cutter for years, for the last 6, 7, 8, who knows how many years. And usually if I want a crisp cut, I don't have to do this anymore because I got a new paper cutter. It was actually sent to me in Happy Mail. If I want a crisp cut, I put another piece of paper underneath. And sometimes that happens. Let's just disregard. All right. And look at this. Crisp cut with my blunt paper cutter, just by using a piece of something underneath, actually 2 layers. But look at this deckled edge using a blunt paper cutter. Don't throw away. I know that you can buy replacement blades and all that kind of jazz. Don't throw away your blunt paper cutter, because you, my friend, can have this. Look at this. Look at this. I love that. I love my blunt paper cutter. I'm keeping you. I'll show you the new one that I got. Oh, it's glorious. It gives such beautiful crisp cuts. All right, back to the project. We have this, and we have a strip of paper that now you are going to overlap. Hopefully this piece is long enough. just. Usually with the other ones, they were longer, and I would overlap and glue it down. This one kind of just overlaps. That's fine. I can make a little fold here, a little fold here. If I had a bit more of an overlap, I would go in and apply a little bit of glue, of course, and keep it closed. All that I could have done really is just folded this in a little bit more, but I didn't. I'm just gonna go with this and use a little tiny piece of sticky tape and secure it down. I might even do it on the inside, just in case. Okay, now to make it extra special, I'm gonna take it through my embossing machine. All right, embossing machine in action. I'm gonna pop this into embossing folder and do the thing. Run it through. If you don't have one of these, you can just grab your little piece and scrunch it completely up and then flatten it out again, and then go over it with your inking tool. Just ink away. You can use a piece of, look how cool that looks. You can use a piece of ribbon. You can just really get creative here. These are just jumping points, stepping stones to take you to the land of creation. Closure ready to go. Oh, I might even do a little bit of something over here. I could put this whole thing through my sewing machine. I could do it through my sewing machine. I could also put it through my embossing machine, but it might be difficult to write on. You know, there's so many things that we can do to make this pretty, but we're keeping it as 5-minute little inspirations. On it goes, somewhere in the middle. And then, what do we have in here? Put a little something on top. We can do something like this. We can do a faux stamp seal. What are they called now? I can't think. You can do a circle. We can do a heart. We can do, what's this? We can do really anything. But I really like the look of these simple little hearts. And even this is a die cut that I've had for years. It's really annoying because you have to put it through and then you have to get each of these little circles out. I hate using die cuts, the intricate die cuts. I'm just not a fan because they take way too long. Surely I have a heart somewhere. Well, of course I have a separate bag of hearts, don't I? Pretty, also pretty, also pretty. Oh, I like this one. And then, of course, pop a little bit of glue. Make sure it doesn't seep onto our love letter. And pop your little thing down. Or should I say, glue it down. Oh, isn't that so sweet? Look at it, look at it, look at it. Cute little addition to a journal. Addition, did I say addition? Cute little addition to a journal, or a little paper pack, or happy mail, like this one was sent to me in happy mail and opened up a world of possibilities. We're keeping it nice and simple, but we can go to town with this idea and, you know, create a whole bunch. Okay, let's move along. Idea number 5 is an envelope book, and we can do some fun things with this idea. I'm going to show you this one first, and then I'll show you something else. So this is an envelope that opens up, and it's a little book. Okay, very simple, all right? But we can use this element. Going back to my journal, let me show you in action inside the journal. And action, going, oh, there's our little element. Going inside the journal, where did I put it? Oh, it's right over here. So it flips out. How lovely. And it opens here. And then we have a little booklet. And so the envelope is attached to the book. And you don't have to make your own. How do you open the envelope? I'm going to show you that. I'm going to demonstrate everything. So you can use it as this kind of a thing, a little flip out element. Or, of course, you can use it as a little standalone, a little pouch. You know, a little booklet that you can add and all sorts of stuff. Okay, let me show you how it's done. You grab an envelope, just any envelope you have in your, you can make your own so that you don't have these glued sides. But let's say you don't have an envelope maker. Grab an envelope, and now we're going to open it. And this is how we're going to do that. Open your envelope up, grab a ruler, grab your X-Acto knife, or whatever cutting tool, and open one side, flip it around, and cut a little sliver off, just a tiny little sliver, and then you can open your envelope fully up. This is what you have to work with. Now I like to go ahead and get rid of these bits. So we're simply going to cut it away, or if you want, you can like try and peel it off. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to cut it off. All right, and here's what we have. We have this ugly business going on. So I'm going to demonstrate the flip out element. All right. With the flip out element, we don't care about this ugly business here because that's not going to be visible. If you're doing a standalone thing, you can see what I did here. This is where we're at. This is what's going on. All right. You can go ahead, and this is going to take more than 5 minutes. You can go ahead and you can cover the inside and, you know, just cover the whole thing. Easy peasy. All right. But I'm not going to do that because I'm doing the flip out element. Can't talk. And all I want to do now is bind a few pages in here. So this is my spine right over here. Let me demonstrate. We're doing this. The spine and where the pages are bound, okay, that open this way, is on the ugly side. So this is the pretty side. It doesn't have that nasty business going on. Easy. Easy? Yes. Now, because this particular envelope is very flimsy and I'm going to be binding some signatures in here, or signature, I want to reinforce this a tiny little bit. I'm just going to put a little bit of washi tape, nothing spectacular. It doesn't even have to be pretty. It doesn't even have to be washi tape. You can use a piece of fabric. You can use a piece of paper. I'm going with washi tape because it's just the easy option. And this really isn't going to be visible anyway, so no need to dwell. Just reinforce and chopperoo the excess. Perfect. And now just refold. Excellent. And now you want to make yourself a signature. Just grab a couple of pieces of paper. I like to be prepared, so I already got my piece of paper ready. I have 5 pieces of paper here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, perfect. Make it into a little booklet. You can do the whole thing. You can just grab a few pieces of paper and just trim them down to size. Like you can, it's up to you how nice you want to make this. And now we are going to bind this into this. I have my needle and thread ready to go. We're going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to make everything nice and snug in there. And we're going to punch 3 holes or poke, middle, top, and bottom. You can sew right through, you can staple, you just need to bind them together. Out through the middle hole, turn, in through the top hole, out through the bottom hole, tighten, and back in through the middle hole. Hello, hello. Chop the thread, tighten, tie a knot, and a double knot, and chop some more, or tie a bow, or totally up to you. Element is done. Now, what do I want to do now? Oh yes, this can be completely done. This can be your thing, right? So if it's going to be a standalone thing, you can see it's done, okay? You just need to cover this, which I would do before binding. And you might want to, or not, cover this. I always like to cover this because it's flimsy. So it doesn't matter if I'm making a standalone thing or a flip out, I want to cover this because I want to give it a little bit of strength. So I'm just going to use a piece of scrapbook paper and just mark myself where I need to cut. Bring out my new best friend and cut. Apply the glue. If you want, you can apply glue only on 3 sides and have a pocket here or a pocket here. You can have a pocket on a pocket. You can take it to town. Totally up to you how far you want to take this. But I'm simply reinforcing over here. I want a bit of sturdiness to my little booklet or flip out so that when it flips out, it's not kind of bending. And now I'm just going to do last minute little details such as inking the edges. Okay, now if I was making a standalone project or little envelope booklet, I would add a little closure, like a little circle of some sort. I'm adamant that I want to use this stamp. I had a piece before, I can't find it now. Use my circle punch Well, that ink didn't dry, and now I'm getting this kind of crazy effect, which I don't mind. I do not mind. Now, if I was making the standalone envelope element, I pop this down here and glue it down, and then that's my closure. Now to show you on this one, you can see what I mean. So what happened with this one is it wasn't enough to keep it closed, so I had to secure this circle down with a little brad. You know, if you're finding that, like when you pop your thing in, it just flips out because this is very flimsy, it doesn't hold it down. Just, I don't know, use a brad. Okay, pretty. This is a pretty envelope. This envelope is just white with this gold edging, and then I did this stenciling, and yeah. All right, so because I'm not making a standalone little thing, I'm making a flip out. I'm going to show you how to attach it to your journal. I want this closed over here, just like that. I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue just down the bottom. Glue down. I'm getting all this ink on my fingers. I don't know why it's not drying, because it's glossy. This cardstock it's actually a greeting card. Anyway, that's beside the point. All right, here's what we have. A little closure. Lovely. That's keeping it nice and closed and snug and lovely. And now when you want to put it into your journal, I'm not going to put it in because I already have one in here. But let's say you want to attach this to your journal. I'm going to find a page. Let's say this is the page I want to attach it to. You take your thing. The ugly side gets glued down. So you're doing this basically. Perfect. You can, of course, go ahead and add all sorts of fun stuff there. So over here, when you turn the page, this gets glued down. So I like to glue the whole thing down. I'm not even bothering with like making pockets and stuff. Apply your glue and glue it down, and then you have an element that flips out. You have a little booklet here that opens up, and you know, all that fun stuff. How lovely. How cool is that? Yes or no? I think it's pretty cool. I can't wait to finish with this journal. It's going to be so full of goodness, and then I'm going to do a flip through. All right. This is going to go into another journal. So I have this ready, and I have this as well. Okay, let's move along. Oh, okay, idea number 6. I don't know what to call this one again. So we're making windows, but we are making windows with, you can do it with sticky tape. I'm going to show you this fun thing. You can do it with contact paper, which is what I use. You can have stickers in there. You can have glitter in there. You can have dried flowers in there. You can have more fun stuff in there. And you can also expand this kind of a thing to other things, like this is going to be middle of a journal, maybe next journal I make, and you know, the binding will be here, and these are going to be pockets, and then you can have, you know, look at this. Need I say more words? Oh, glorious. All right, so much fun. So all you need for this is contact paper. All right, this is what I'm using because this is what I have. You can use sticky tape, like white sticky tape, like this. It's just not going to look as good, all right? But, you know, you use what you have. And then you can use book pages. That's what I'm going to do. You can use whatever paper you have. Okay, let's go with book pages. I am going to grab 2 book pages. You need 2 book pages because you'll be sandwiching. You don't want any sticky business. I'm just looking for a book page that has a bunch of writing with no breaks, because that's what I like. All right, this one will do, even though it has doesn't matter. You know, let's just not dwell. 2 book pages. This is an idea that I did last night, and I think we can take it so many different directions. I did not explore this fully. Okay, now what you need to do is cut holes on both of the pages. So you can go ahead and use your die cuts if you have die cuts. See how I have one smaller one, one larger one. You can use die cuts. That's what I did there. You can rip, which is, look at this. This one looks like a face unintentionally. Do you see a face? I totally see a face there. I did not go for that, but that's what I got. Or you can just simply use your X-Acto knife and just cut out little windows like this. All right, I am going to go ahead and assume that you don't have die cuts and stuff. So we're just gonna get in there, right? And we're going to like rip an opening. Doesn't have to be looking good, but that's looking good. I'm quite happy with that, how that's looking. Now the other one, the one underneath, needs to have a smaller opening if you want to have that layered effect. I didn't do a great job with this one, but it will do. And now you can't see what's going on, so I'm going to ink the edges so that you can see. All right, here we go. Now you can see we have the larger one on top of the smaller one, and that way you can see through, you can see layers. It's not, you know, it's not fabulous looking, but it will serve the purposes of today. Okay, now we are going to, first I'm going to get myself a piece of contact paper, or what do you call it? Everyone calls it different. Sticky paper or book covering. I don't have a clue. Might be a good idea to get a large piece that covers the whole thing. I'm just gonna go with this because this works too. And I'm gonna need 2 pieces. Take the top piece, all right, and put it aside because you don't need it now. Take your contact paper and remove the backing. Now, you want this on the back of the smaller opening so that the sticky stuff is inside, okay? So you can do it this way, turn it around and put your thing down, but then it will glue to your desk. I'm trying to avoid that over here. So I'm just going to put my piece, I hope I'm not confusing. I'm going to put my piece down, see how it's sticky. I'm going to grab my thing and put it right on top. Lovely. You can't see anything, but you know that this is the sticky side. And now you can go and grab glitter. I have some glitter here. I'm gonna use this glitter. I have this kind of stuff happening. I have these little bits. Who knows what all this is? And you can grab transparent stickers. You can grab whatever the heck you want. I really, really, really like the idea of dried flowers. So I'm gonna go and find a dried flower in my box of dried flower goodness. Look at this. These are all dried flowers that my mom dried. Some of these are like, oh, we have leaves. Look how beautiful. Some of these flowers in here are 20 years old. We have more leaves. I love the leaves. What do we have here? Prettiness. Ooh, I'm hoarding some of these. This is a nice one. I'm looking for a really flat dried flower so that I don't have any pockets of air. Oh, wow. Is this gorgeous or what? This is what we're gonna go with. Oh, yes, we are. So take your thing, it's sticky over here, and grab your dried flower goodness or your sticker or whatever it is you're using and plop it down onto the sticky bit. Now, this is too large, but that's fine. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm getting stuck too. Oh, pretty. Oh, pretty, pretty. Okay, now you would go in with your glitter. I love the idea of glitter because I have all this glitter that I find in, you know, packs that I buy in op shops and stuff. And anyway, I have a lot of glitter. And I hate glitter. I don't mind it on my nails though. Let's just say, by the way, these are 7 days old and look how fabulous they're still looking. Besides the point, now we have this, okay? Now, you can add glitter, but I'm not gonna because I think it's gonna ruin this beautiful dried flower. Now you want to seal it. So we're sealing the goodness between 2 pieces of contact paper or sticky tape. So we're gonna turn the sticky side down, of course, and we're going to seal it in place. It kind of lifted it up a bit, but it's okay. Look at the glory. Glory. Tree of life. Here's what we have. Okay, now I like to take this piece, the one with the bigger opening, and apply a little bit of glue on the other side, just around these edges here, because these I'm using book pages, and book pages are quite fragile, and I want this glued down. I might even do a bit of this and a bit of that. Hello, beautiful. Pop it down. I'm aligning. I want to align everything nicely, perfectly, and beautifully. Align. I think the ripped effect, not bad, but I do like the, you know, the perfection of this, using die cuts, a smaller die cut and then a larger die cut, and then this is sandwiched in between. You can see that glitter and these little stars in action. Gorgeous. And this face. Hello, lovely ladies. And then, of course, the dried flower. And now we have this one. This little beauty. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to neaten up the edges. And ink the edges. Okay, now what I wanted to tell you about this is last night I made it and I was like, yeah, but what? So now we have this, okay, and now what? Like, what is it? It's not a writing spot. It's not a pocket. It can be. You can place it on anything. It can just be an element on its own, but it doesn't have a purpose. It's kind of like pointless unless you're using this for something special. So, for example, dried flowers or like little leaves and things that my mom gave me, pretty special, right? If you're just putting in a transparent sticker, it's kind of like, what's the point? It's a pretty thing. So another downfall of this project is that on the back, you have this sticky side, not sticky side, sorry. You have this plastic side. You can see that on the back. Not so pretty, mainly because I'm using a smaller piece. I'm using what I have. I do have larger pieces of contact paper, but anyway. So, you know, the back isn't as pretty because it could be like a little flip kind of a thing. You could attach another piece underneath, grabbing what's next to me, like for example, something like this, and then glue this on, and then you sew around, but then it's kind of a little bit pointless doing the whole sandwich. It's not pointless. None of this is pointless because I'm over here having fun and creating beautiful things. Well, I think in my eyes they're beautiful anyway. But you know, you can do that. It can be a journaling spot, right? You can glue it down in your journal on a page, 3 sides glued down, and then you make it into a pocket. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm sure that you can think of lots of ways of using this. I didn't explore this idea fully and completely because I only kind of did it last night, but you know, you can do something like this. You can take it to other elements in your journal as well and sandwich beautiful things in between contact paper or sticky tape. I wonder how this would look on just white backing. That looks really beautiful. But anyway, I like the idea of having it as a window, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew around and I'll be right back. Here it is. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I like it. I had an idea also last night. If you want to cover this, the back, you know, the plasticky back, you can have a third layer of ripped book page, maybe even smaller, and then you simply glue the third layer on top. I didn't want to bother with that because we're trying to do like a quick little 5-minute project, and it kind of defeats the purpose because what's the point? I don't know, maybe it doesn't defeat the purpose. Anyway, I hope you find this useful in any case, and I wish I could demonstrate with the glitter. Look at this glitter. I love that idea of glitter stuck in there, but it's not moving around. Okay, that completes the idea number 6, and now it's time for a little recap. But before I do that, I want to show you this. See, I wrote myself a note. Want to do on video, but I'm not sure if I want to do this on video, so I'm going to ask you to tell me if you want to see me do this. Basically, what this is an existing book cover that I kind of hid on the spine with, you know, the author name and the book name and all that kind of stuff. And I started making it into a handmade book, as you can see. And what this is going to be is a removable signature, so it can be like a monthly to-do list or whatever. That then when it's filled up, your little signature, let's imagine there's a signature here, you can take the whole thing out, you can add pages and all that sort of jazz, right? And then this is the spine over here. I'm gonna have like beads over here. I'm gonna have something hanging. And then before I completed this book, I thought to myself, maybe, just maybe, I want to do this on video. And I'm not sure if this is something that you might want to see me do on video. And if you do, you need to give me a suggestion on what I should call it. Is it like a existing book, removable page journal? Something like that. I don't know. If you want to see it, let me know. Yes, you want to see that book, and give me your name. What should I call the tutorial? Because I'm at a loss. As you've noticed lately, I have been at a loss. Like when I was making up names for these things I made today, I do not know what to call them. So I need help. Okay, recap time, my lovely. Idea number 1 is a bookmark or a belly band that, oh yes, opens up all the way. Lovely, 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 loveliness. Idea number 2 is the fabulous journaling spots galore. We do like that. Idea number 3 is the paperclip bookmarks. Idea number 3, mon ami. No, it's actually idea number 4, but 4 doesn't rhyme with mon ami. Is the, what are we calling them? Mini love letters. Oui, oui. Idea number 5 is the envelope booklet, or where are you, my love? The envelope flip out little shebang. Envelope flip out and element. Let's call it that. And idea number 6 is contact paper windows. Which one is your favorite? Oh, look how pretty. My favorite would be, out of all the things that I've made, of course, is this flip book. So that'll be pretty cool to do a tutorial on that. If you're interested, of course. You may not be, which is totally fine. I do like all the things. Here they are in all their glory, and I'm gonna tell you what's happened. What's happened is that last week I did that big embellishing video, and that took a lot of time and effort and back pain. And this week I wanted something easy, something simple. And you know, sometimes we don't feel overly creative, and sometimes we just don't want to undertake big projects, and I'm in that stage right now. So I was thinking just the other day, what am I gonna, because I had something else planned to film this week, and then I just really, to be honest, couldn't be bothered. Okay, there it is. I could not be bothered. This to me is not aesthetically pleasing. I couldn't help myself. I had to shift a few things around to make this look pretty to me, because it's aesthetics is important to me. We have a little flower here and a little butterfly here, and I know nobody notices these things, but I notice. So just the other night I was thinking, what am I going to film this week? I can't do the whole big project that I wanted to do because I have no energy. I've been going to the gym and all that kind of jazz, right? And then all these little this is just a selection. There's only 6. I wanted to keep it nice and simple and easy. We could go to all eternity of all the little ideas and little things that we can make, and I'm sure you've probably seen some of these, or maybe even all of these in the past, but sometimes we kind of forget of all the things that we can make. So what I want to know, and why I'm rambling, is what do you think about this kind of a video every now and again, where it's just simple little ideas that are just, you know, really simple, and that don't take a lot of time, that you can do very quickly, a little burst of inspiration, hopefully, in a video. Let me know what you think. Also, what do you think about at the flip book? Do you want maybe a separate tutorial? Is it something that you would watch? And also the other thing, I don't know, just let me know what you think, and also which one of these projects is your favorite. I think I like all of them. They all hold a special piece of my heart because they're so easy, they're so quick, and they're so simple, and that's what I need in my life right now. So that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.